Here's some important context to go over to better understand The Catcher in the Rye. The United States enjoyed widespread prosperity in the late 1940s and throughout the 1950s, but there was a cultural climate of paranoia about the rise of communism and the perceived threat it presented to that prosperity. The Catcher in the Rye was published in 1951 and captures and reflects those tensions between success and fear. The Catcher in the Rye fluctuates thematically between hope and disillusion. Certain elements of Holden Caulfield's character parallel the life of his creator, J.D. Salinger. Holden, like Salinger, fails to thrive at school. Finding the conventional environment stifling and meaningless, he drops out a number of times. Both Holden and his creator find significance and meaning in narrative, whether fact or fiction, and in the manipulation of words. Like Salinger, Holden seeks anonymity in New York City and fantasizes about disappearing. Salinger worked on the novel during World War II. Some biographers find in Holden's despair and anger the young writer's own wartime trauma. Initially published for an adult audience, The Catcher in the Rye was appropriated by teenagers who often saw themselves in Holden. Critical reception to The Catcher in the Rye was, and still is, controversial. The Catcher in the Rye generated immediate praise and criticism, joy and outrage. The publisher that first made an offer withdrew when Salinger refused to tame Holden. Salinger quickly found another publisher. The Catcher in the Rye has topped lists of banned books for decades, and when the novel debuted, it shocked readers in several ways, mostly with its obvious use of taboo language and topics. The critical attitude with which Holden dissects society is a hallmark of The Catcher in the Rye, and it quickly climbed to the top tier of the New York Times bestseller list. It garnered a Book of the Month Club listing right off the bat. The Catcher in the Rye was incredibly influential and extends beyond the world of literature. The process of discovering one's adult identity and leaving the relative safety of childhood is a major hallmark of The Catcher in the Rye, and Holden is a reassuring companion. However crazy he may act from time to time, connection to other caring humans is possible. Since J.D. Salinger's death, some biographers have claimed that he worked on other stories about Holden, and that these stories will someday be published. The Catcher in the Rye truly remains both beloved and controversial, an American classic.